Take a look at that. It's early doors. This is Hardwick. Now, I've not fished Hardwick for a few years. Quite a few years. So, I think if we manage to get on here, we're going to have to wait, because usually people start packing up mid-morning. But it seems like this is the better option at the minute with the way the other lakes are fishing. We shall see. Here we are at the back of the shop, early doors, looking good. And there's Manna. Very nice. Check out the new shop. Absolutely crammed. Absolutely everything you can think of. Brilliant. What an absolutely spectacular morning. There you go. Coffee on the go.
Morning.
Morning. Awesome. What do you think of the shop, Pete?
Oh, it's amazing. Amazing.
Awesome, isn't it?
Everything you'd ever need in there.
Yeah.
Got myself a storm pole, $5.99. Some lead clips.
Yeah. Jobs are good. And a cup or two. Can't argue with that. There's the tackle shop. There's Pete, and over there is St John's. Right, this is a very well known swim. I think probably a lot of you will already know which one it is on St John's. This is Danny. Hello, mate.
Alright, mate.
And it turns out Danny lives around not very far from where I live. Small world. But it is looking good, mate, isn't it? If anything, you're going to enjoy the weather. Here's the other side of St John's. Road bank over there, as you can hear. Breeze is picked up now. It's getting towards mid-morning. But I've got to show you something else. Now this is something you would have overlooked if you'd driven on here. And this little pond has attracted a certain little angler by the name of Pete. And I'm going to get camera shake walking down here, so bear with me. I've not got the gimbal, it's in the car. And this is how enthusiastic this young man is. Any luck, mate? And he's in. He's doing. Go on, son. Look at the bend in that £5 test rod. Could be a new late record, this, Pete. Ah, he's missed again. Yes!
Micro carp.
It's as clean as a whistle, isn't it? Brilliant. Well, hello there. It's been a while. Finally we're set up. We're on Hardwick. I haven't fished this lake for 10 years, so I haven't got a clue what I'm doing. There's an awful lot of weed out there, so there are a few things to deal with. All the baits are out now, all the rods are primed. Pete's chatting to a friend of his over there. We've got a double swim or something like that. Apologies for not being online last month. There was no August session for me, but I'll explain that later on. And this is the view from the bivvy. It's looking good. There are bubblers, there are shows, and people are catching. So as long as we can suss out what's in front of us, and I'm sure a lot of the lads who are regular will know exactly what I should be doing, but I don't. So we can only sit and wait and hope. But it looks hopeful, so I'll catch you later. Well, it's that time of day now where the sun's going down. It's looking a little bit misty, and Pete's just been putting the last few spods in, and the kettle's on. Here's Pete preparing the barbecue.
A few extra leaves.
What's on the menu for tonight, Pete?
Carp. There's loads showing.
Let's hope we've not sent them to the other side with all the spotting and marking we've been doing.
They're still there, mate. They're coming out as you're spotting.
Good. Let's hope we get off to a flyer. And I've got to admit, I put 3 rigs on that have been in one of my buckets there, just for ease, make it quicker. Although I'm not happy with them. What kind of meat feast have you got this evening then?
Some sort of chicken.
A dead one, I hope. It'd be nice if we got amongst them though, wouldn't it? And like I say, I've not fished this place for 10 years. And last time I came, I blanked on the opposite bank.
Well, we can only try, can't we?
We can only try. There's one thing about it, mate, we'll enjoy trying, won't we?
Exactly.
There's the home. I've just found my quilted jacket in my bag. I'm glad about that, because it's you can feel a chill getting that time of year now. Check Pete out here with his purple line. What's that all about, Pete?
Just trying it out, really. Matches the alarms, doesn't it? So, but it's, I've had quite.
I see.
I've had a
It's
good
a
number of
tackle
fish on
chart
that.
thing. Good grief. I think Pete's spotting away. Yes. There he goes. think it took us both a little while to come to terms with the lake bed and the weed and presentation and location and stuff. Put a few spods out now. I didn't spod yesterday, I was just too far gone. I was uncertain about the area. I was so tired, I just put bags on and whizzed them out. Needless to say, nothing happened. We've had a chat with one of the lads who appears to be a regular, and he's having a good hit round the corner, so hopefully he will put us in the right direction. You could probably tell that where we are is quite near to the road, and myself and Pete are shouting to each other, which we're not used to, but you don't get this kind of thunder at Oxley's, do you? But still, it's better than being at work, isn't it? As far as my sessions go, this is a fairly short session. But hopefully, once we get that carpenter feed established, we might pick off one or two. Isn't it a stark contrast from the last session we had at B1? Completely different lake, even though it's just a few yards down the road there. Completely different behaviours of fish. Completely different stock. As I say, the fish in here, they're just stunners. And it's pretty obvious that the crew here have, particularly Chris, has always worked to make this the kind of the jewel, if you like, in the crown. And they may not be the biggest fish on the complex, but there are some absolute belters. Gorgeous, woody, dark, scaly things. And it's a case of size isn't everything, is it? So, as I mentioned earlier, we didn't get an August session. Well, I didn't get an August session anyway. Very sad times at home. Stepfather sadly passed away. Tough time for all of us. So the fishing went out the window, and it puts life into perspective, doesn't it? Because let's face it, fishing isn't everything, and some things you start realising matter, and other things really don't matter at all, do they? So yes, a very sad loss. Right then, Pete's just seen a fish. Is it near your bait, Pete? No. So you've just seen a fish and it's on the opposite bank?
It wasn't 300 yards away. I can get to it. I can get to it.
You probably could. Pete's not a bad caster, Rich. So we've got a visitor today. There's Richard.
How you doing, lad? All right?
He's come to give us a few words of wisdom, haven't you, mate?
Yeah, I wish. What line you got on them reels?
Now then, if you can hear me over the top of the racket of these coots here, this is the afternoon view from the bivvy. Spectacular fishing conditions, although it could be a bit breezier. But I'm not complaining. Nice to get a visit from Richard there. And I think that's one of the nice things about carp fishing, or any kind of fishing really, isn't it? We're all here for a common cause, aren't we? So we've all got one thing in common, which kind of brings us all together. Not always mind, but there you go. Oh, look at that for a morning. I wouldn't get that view at home, that's for sure. Although, no alarms going off. And midweek as it is, I wouldn't get that at home either. This little fella has discovered a little bit of maize. Or is it the hemp? I think that's hemp he's got. And he's found it very convenient to use the rods as a pecking post. Let's see what Pete's up to. Right, Pete, do you have any words of wisdom, given that you were the man who hasn't blanked because you landed the monster from the deep from the pond near the shop?
Persistence is key, I think, mate.
What are we persisting in though? Blanking.
Clearing the lake bed of weed, I suppose.
There's a lot of weed out there, mate, isn't there?
Yeah, I don't think it's too heavy, but...
No, it's not like Canadian, is it?
It's enough to sort of put doubts in your mind.
Yes, it is.
Presented.
Yes, it is enough to make you doubtful. Right, now this is Mike. He's just been fishing around the corner in Smith's with his mate Johnny. How big, Mike?
23 on the button.
And that's one of how many now?
5 fish, lost
He's
2.
into another. Showing us how it's done. Another pretty fish for Mike. He'd no sooner put the last one back and he was off again. Again showing us how it's done. Look, hook's come out in the net. That's good, isn't it? That's good. Right, the only problem is... Oh, there you go. There you go. It's a little cracker, isn't it?
Yeah.
Feels a bit better. Do you recognise this scenario by any chance? We were just about to weigh the last one and another rod rode off. Amazing, isn't it? You wait 2 days. And Pete, I asked him would he put the carp in the retainer in the water.
Bless it, it escaped.
The retainer, he was videoing it anyway, weren't you? But you didn't get any video of me holding it. You didn't get to weigh it, but I think the guess was it was a mid-double, wasn't it? 60.
Yeah.
Oh yes. He was just getting over. Shit, I'm getting over.
26.2.
26.2, yeah, we'll have that. Okay. Nearly. Right. That's it. 26.2. Well, lovely common and what a great scrap. There's the other side. It's a beauty. Oh, I'm happy with that. Right. Thank you. There's a slimy hand for you. There you go. One of the other rods is about to go again. 4 runs in about half an hour. Lost 2. This was the second one, so I can't complain, but I think I'm going to get another run by the looks of it.
You best give it a kiss, Steve.
Well, that was a bit of a mad half hour, I can tell you. I can't say I'm surprised about losing 2 fish soon after I'd hooked them because of the weed situation out there. But you can only do your best, can't you? So anyway, pleased with the results, as you can imagine. It's dusk, or coming towards dusk now. Pete's cooking up something good. Chicken with mango, coconut and lime apparently. So I thought I'd do a wader's shot earlier because...
Whoever you are, remember, there's a trophy shop posed for you. Cheers.
Right, as Pete was enjoying his noodles and chicken, he's had a run. So hopefully we'll capture all this under the moonlight. Right, bit of drama there. across one of his lines. He reckons it's only a small one, but it's a fish.
Well.
Yeah. You take it easy, mate. Get in there. Well, here's Pete with a 20, nearly 21, wasn't it?
2012.
2012. It's another mink common. We like it, don't we, mate?
The colours are amazing.
Yeah. So it was your turn. It's all started happening now, hasn't it, mate? Just got to work the spots now, haven't we? Keep it going in. Yes.
Little beauty.
You beauty. There's Pete's 20 going back. Happy with that, mate?
Over the moon, well, happy to be off the mark.
Yeah. Let's hope it's the first of many. Having said that, you did catch that monster in the pond.
I wish it was a bit bigger.
Yeah. Very nice.
A lovely fish though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Goes.
Get in there. Check out that sunshine. Just about. Well, it's been a quiet night as usual. The saving grace is we haven't blanked. So we both put a few spots in this morning and we can see how it goes. Time's ebbing away. So it's a case of enjoying it while we can. Right, action! Well, here we are on our last day on Hardwick. It's not been easy, has it, Pete?
No, enjoyable though.
Enjoyable, lovely swim,
Yeah, lovely
view. Lovely company.
Well,
Makes all the difference, doesn't it, mate?
yes, mate, it does.
And it is a lovely lake, isn't it?
It's probably one of the prettiest out of the complex, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it is. So at least we haven't blanked. You've had 2,
Yes, if you count that.
if you count the one from the little pond.
I'm going to go back on the way
And
home.
you did better than I did. And I got those four runs and landed 2. I just wanted to make sure that when I said I lost 2, it wasn't that they'd weeded me up. It was the fact that there's siltweed out there and there's every chance that the carp could not take the hooking properly. I was using PVA around the hooks and stuff and making the baits as buoyant as possible to get it sitting on top, and I expected something to happen like this. So I lost the 2 very shortly after the run, and when I picked up they were on for a moment or so and then went. So it didn't come as any surprise. Using large hooks, size 4s, like I say, very buoyant bait. So anyway, Pete, do you think it's been weedy in this swim? Has it been pretty tough?
I've got exactly the same thing as you. About 16, 17 wraps. I've got quite a large bed of low-lying weed, and obviously I'm casting over that into a clearer spot.
Yeah.
But obviously every time you pull in, you're pulling straight back into the weed
Yeah,
bed.
yeah, that's exactly what
which
I'm
knocks
doing.
confidence, doesn't it? Really?
It does, yeah.
Your hook's covered in weed. And
But anyway, you've been having fun and games back in Ringwheel, haven't you? In the Ringwheel Club at Ringwood. Because, for one, Isla, well, you tell me about Isla.
Isla, she's done a couple of weeks fishing in the summer holidays. She's had some nice commons. Yeah, she hasn't beaten a PB, but she's had a good time.
She's not been far off. She's had a...
I think 23 might have been the biggest one. Oh, she lost a big fish. It actually pulled the boom out of the crimp.
Right.
It was big.
Well, she had a couple of big bream as well, didn't she?
Oh mate, yeah, PB bream.
Just under £10.
Yeah, I think it was 9.12.
That's mahoosive.
Fuck, it was a big old dustbin lid.
Yeah.
But beautiful, dark colours, looked lovely really for a bream.
Yeah. It looked big with her being so little holding it as well.
It was
looked really impressive.
It was impressive.
I bet the net stunk for a while though.
Well, not after the catfish had been in it. It doesn't really make much odds.
Yeah, she did a catfish as well, didn't you?
That's what I took her out really, because she was really eager to see a catfish on the bank. And fortunately, the first sort of 4 nights, it was a bit of a learning curve getting the gear right, because we kept snapping off and had to really go up to some heavy duty stuff, because we were hooking into some monsters.
Yeah.
And it's a bit of a...
It's a different league, isn't it, when you
Yeah.
step up to that kind of beast.
Good fun, good sport.
It's not for me. You can keep those hairy tadpoles, slimy tadpoles. So mate, you bust your PB this year, didn't you, at Northfield?
Yep, 37.4, lovely common named fish called the scar common. It's got lost a
Nice.
barbel and got a little bit of a
That's it.
funny mouth. It's one, I think it is one of the original fish. It's quite old.
Since we had that last session on Brasenose 1, you've had some good sessions on Northfield, haven't you?
I have, yeah. Doing carp fishing and cat fishing, and yeah, quite a few PBs between me and Isla.
It's excellent,
So
isn't it?
happy days, really.
Yeah, you've definitely had a good season.
That's for sure.
Right, matey, so what have you been spotting out? Because you've put quite a bit out, haven't you?
It's been a bit of a mixture, really. It's probably about 4 kilos of chopped boilies, just chopped in half. So I've put a few liquids in and bits and bobs. Just some cheap pellets, but obviously the bulk of it's lots of corn, hemp, party mix sort of seeds, and general sort of spod mix. But a lot of it is corn.
Yeah. I've got to admit, I mean, you saw my mix. I think it was mainly maize and sweet corn. I think they were the big two. From everything I've read and everything everybody said, they've all said use yellow. It's a surefire winner, and it works, doesn't it?
Well, seems to be.
I think, as far as the runs, everything I've sort of used has been 12 milli sort of plain coloured krill popper with a
Fake sweet corn on top. Exactly
yellow
the same
fake corn on top.
Exactly the same as what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Spinner rig, either perfectly balanced or popped up.
Yeah. Here are some of the components I use for the spinner rig. Now, I've had a lively debate with both Dave and Pete in regard to swivels for this rig. My points being, and there are 2 of them, the top swivel you can see there is the Corda QC swivel. The bottom swivel is a Corda spinner swivel. As you can see, the spinner swivel is smaller and therefore lighter, and they are far easier to get on the hook. Secondly, I prefer to use a micro ring swivel on the back of the hook, so I'll use either an ESP hook ring swivel or a Fox micro hook ring swivel. The reason I prefer a ring swivel is because it adds another dimension of movement to the hook bait that cannot be achieved by a standard micro swivel. A word of warning about the micro ring swivel though, it can be a little bit tricky to get the floss onto the swivel itself. And also, once you've got the bait on, if you apply too much pressure, you can easily bury that swivel into your bait. Just something to remember. Just one final thing about the micro ring swivel on the back of the hook there. Now that's a size 4 curve shank, and what I've found is that I prefer to use the large hook beads for this. purely because of the size of the ring on the micro ring swivel. I saw a post this morning on Facebook that Kempy's Linear had been out this morning. That's a new lake record, and last I knew of it, previously I think it had got up to 48.12 or something like that. But so it's going to be pretty big, and it's a lovely fish, that one. Okay, this one came out of nowhere. 19, just over 19 pound. Third common, which is a bit strange, given there's a lot of scaly mirrors in this lake. I don't know what's going on, but it gave me a good scrap, didn't it, Pete?
It did.
Little cracker, isn't it? I think it's a little fella, this one, isn't he? He's a slimline. Now this is something new. What Pete's going to demonstrate now, I've never known it before, but apparently it's practiced often in Dorset, and it's carp noodling. So he's going to go around the margins and see if he can pick anything up. We've not seen anything recently. I think it's a bit like trout tickling. Wow! How did you do that? Well, today is a day of great sadness because we're packing up. Look at the luggage there. Tip of the iceberg. Not a bleep last night for either of us. Pete's just about to put his black armband on because we're going home.
Going back to the float pond.
Yeah, where we got more of a chance. But I think we made something out of nothing, so we can't complain. And lovely, lovely lake. Most enjoyable. Well, I'm back home now. The car's been unpacked, all the gear is away. As you can imagine though, I'm buried in a mountain of washing up and washing. So it's all a labour of love, isn't it? Anyway, good to meet everybody new this time around, and good to see Ian there and Scott and the lads from Linear, and good to look around the shop too. One of Pete's friends turned up, Tim, and it was good to meet him. He had a PB while we were there, so congratulations, Tim. Nice one. Anyway, I've got to get back to my cleaning up now, so until the next time, I'll see you on the bank.